recently, myself and my friend Nick Sperdute, fellow comedian, we went to the Wooki homeworld, the planet Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
And I loved it. What a glorious planet. What did you think?
I thought it was okay. I got to be honest. I'm a little bit afraid of heights.
Yeah.
And I really don't like trees.
You're not a tree guy. For real, you're not a tree guy.
No, genuinely.
Like even on Earth, you don't like trees. You don't like parks.
I'm fine with trees being there, but if I wanted to live with trees,
You'd move to Portland.
I'd be somewhere with trees. I'm in New York.
You live
for
in
a
New York
reason.
City. Yeah. You live in a very the trees are all in very manicured specific locations.
Exactly.
Whereas on Kashyyyk, it's the trees planet.
Yeah.
And to a lesser extent, the Wookiees who are
they're just living there.
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Yeah.
And they're building their trees. They get like a TGA Fridays inside of a redwood. Like it's all of it is the trees are predominant, which I love trees. So I thought it was a stunning planet, and I thought the weather was very clement. A lot of people complain it's damp. I like it.
No, it didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Weather-wise, I was fine.
It's not cold.
No.
It's chilly, but it wasn't it never got biting cold, you know?
Glad I brought my jacket.
Yeah, which you got a lot of compliments
Everybody
on.
loved.
Everybody thought your jacket was very stylish. Apparently you're stylish on any planet, but the Wookiee homeworld in particular.
I just want to say, that was sweet.
The only thing that I had a problem with while I was there, which is nothing against Kashyyyk, is just the fact that we were doing early morning drive time. The podcast is new. Alienating the Audience has only been out for a couple of months. We've got to go around and promote it. One of the ways you do this in the world of comedy is you go on morning zoo shows.
Yeah.
And that's, you pick up listeners that way, and we were doing that. And that's fine. That's nothing against Kashyyyk. It just means that you and I had to get up really early. And then
also the time difference is a whole thing. And so realistically, we were waking up at I guess 1 a.m. our time?
Yeah, it took me a long time to get used to that.
We were sleeping during what we would normally be like dinner. I don't know.
And we were only there for a week and a half. So by the time we adjust, we're done.
That's exactly
Which is how that works. Yeah. That said, though, you know what? It was fun. It was a little usually when you and I have done morning zoo shows in the past, they usually have us on for half an hour. Mm-hmm. We talk about hey, we're going to be performing at the Laugh Factory or whatever. And they had us on for about 2 hours every day. So it was a lot of time.
As far as the shows we've done so far, I think Frick Frack and the Judge felt like my favorite.
You know what? And I'll say what I enjoyed about Frick Frack and the Judge, a lot of those morning zoo shows that we go on, it's usually Jerry B and the Barracuda. There's always the wacky animal character. Mm-hmm. Whereas on Kashyyyk, the wacky animal character is the protagonist and the sidekick is a stentorian judge. Mm-hmm. It's usually, the judge is usually their sidekick.
He was very, very narrow. I felt like you. It felt like a lot of you I saw in there, which I liked.
Tough but fair.
Yeah.
With really good analysis. I enjoyed that. It was a great show.
I think we thrived on that. Can I say that? I felt like we thrived on the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we did great. I haven't looked up the stats recently. We're on Libsyn. That's the host that we use for the show. Mm-hmm. I'm going to look it up. But I think my guess is by the end of December, probably a quarter of our listeners will be Wookiee.
That's most likely what I thought as well, based on how well we were received.
Yeah.
And the fact that they put our pictures just about everywhere.
Yeah. No, they were good about that. But the other reason that we're probably going to have a lot of Wookiees listening to the program is that, because we're permanently involved with several Wookiees, which is going to help. It can't hurt. They've all got big families. They talk a lot.
Okay. So when you're not in the trees, and you tend to try to find your way through the jungle-ish sort of area of Kashyyyk, and
which is all of it.
Yeah, and they have they're not really food trucks; they're more like food carts.
Yeah, they're like, if you can imagine one of those ski gondolas, except it can climb.
Yeah,
that's what they have for cars, and they've got these food tree gondolas that are really good. They don't talk about that in the brochure, but their food carts are great.
Anyway,
They're empanadas. I would not have guessed empanadas, but they have great empanadas. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So, Tarful almost got hit.
Yeah.
By a falling food gondola.
Food gondola,
I suppose.
Yeah. And you grabbed him.
Pulled him out of the way.
By his bandolier.
Yeah.
You grabbed him and you pulled him back.
Yanked him.
And that was, I gotta say, I was impressed.
Anyone would do that, though. That wasn't just me. I was just closer. I was way closer than you were. You were still on the other side by the garbage can.
Yeah.
I reached over, grabbed him, pulled him back, and caught him. He fell on top of me. I got kind of hurt because he's heavy.
Yeah.
But I was fine, and he was fine, and only the guy in the gondola died.
Right.
Still kind of feel bad about that.
Sure.
But there's nothing I could have done about that.
Nothing you could have done about it. It would not have been possible.
No.
Yeah.
But I saved Tarful, and now he
owes you a
me
life
a
debt.
life debt.
Yeah, forever.
Which I don't think I told him was fine.
You were very magnanimous about that.
I tried to
You
be.
were very magnanimous because he's saying, and I'm not very good at Wookiee, but he's based on the Google Translate that I had. He's saying like, I owe you a life debt. This is part of my culture. I am now I don't want to say servant. That's not quite the right word, but he's your protector, right? And you're saying like, hey, buddy. Look, it's
cool.
fine.
Yeah,
it's
no
really
big
just
deal.
like, why don't you buy us dinner? Buy us dinner.
That's
we're
what
square. Yeah,
I would have been fine with that.
yeah.
Although the prices were very reasonable.
He was emphatic that he is now he's like your thrall forever. It's like we picked up a Wookiee sidekick, like a cool Wookiee sidekick.
And that was fine until we went to the funeral for the gondola guy, and then we met Wolfero, who I also accidentally...
Because the hearse almost hit him, and
I
you
pulled him,
jumped in front of the hearse and shoved him out of the way.
Well, first of all, I kind of like, there's a tree. I don't know if you remember, but it was really
There's trees
close to a
everywhere.
tree.
Yes, of course it was.
Well,
We're on
really close.
Kashyyyk. Where are we not close to a
It was
tree?
like a climbing hearse.
Yeah, it was a gondola hearse. This is another thing they don't tell you. All of the hearses look like ski gondolas that can climb.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so I pulled him out of the way because it was going upwards too fast.
Uh-huh.
And the only person that died was the one inside the gondola.
Yeah, they could do a little bit more with their gondola safety. Here, the funny thing from my perspective is, first of all, I don't feel great about this, but I didn't feel like we needed to go to the funeral in the first part because we didn't know that guy, right? It was terrible, but like...
We saw it happen.
Yeah, I guess. But so you shove... Wolfwaro, I think. Wolfero, but it's one of those Wookiee.
Yeah, it's
Wolfero.
Try one more time.
Wolfero. Yeah, you pull him out of the way, and he gives you this look, and your face fell.
Yeah,
you looked at him, and you went, "Oh no!"
I had already seen the look once.
Yeah, the life debt look.
And Tarful gave me that same exact look.
Who came to the funeral with us because he goes everywhere with you now.
And now so does Wolfero.
Yeah. So you've got two Wookiees now, and it was. I was like, first of all, I thought it was hilarious because I was like, first of all, awesome that we've got two Wookiee sidekicks now, but also how uncannily unlikely is that you would not only have one life debt but two in the same trip? I mean, the probability of that's so low.
Now the problem is, we shouldn't have went to the hospital with the hearse driver.
Mm-hmm. Who did survive? Well, we wanted to check on Wolfwaro because, you had to pull him out of the way. Wolfwaro. You wanted to pull him out of the way. Yeah, we went to the hospital. Well, hold on. We went there because this is partly on you, right? This is partly on you.
I agree.
Because we had some time to kill.
Yeah.
We've got several hours until we're going to go on... the next one was Gary and the Judge. I can't remember what the next show we were going to be on.
Still the Judge.
Was it? Well, yeah, but it's always the Judge.
It's always the Judge.
We had several hours to kill.
Was that Tuesday?
That was Tuesday. So
Gabe
and the Judge. So we're still on Earth time. So we're going to be up for hours anyway. So we're not going to go back to the hotel, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to go to Hooters, and you wanted to go do jokes at a hospital.
Yeah.
To spread goodwill and all that, which is delightful. And then once the gondola accident happened, you're like, well, let's just take the guy there, make sure he's okay, and we'll do some stand-up and an improv sketch for anybody that wants to watch. And I was like, all right, well, let's do this now.
Well, so what happened was, I think we got mixed up, because the guy that was in the gondola hearse died.
Oh, okay.
We brought him to the hospital. We thought he would make it.
Right.
Died.
Yeah.
They were doing surgery at the same time on who we would find out later was Chewbacca.
Uh-huh.
And the doctor.
Which that's partly on them, because they really should have better signage as to where you are in the hospital, because the whole thing looks like a jungle.
Yeah.
Which is, I gotta say,
that is true.
I gotta say, I prefer it to a regular, like an American hospital with like a lot of like bright lights and hard edges.
Well, because they didn't question you about getting those meds.
Yeah, there were a lot of reasons that it was awesome. Because I just kind of came in and I was like, hey, I'm in town, I can't sleep. And they're like, you know what you need? And I was like, I'm guessing you're going to give me some CBD. And they were like, yep. So they were giving me these brownies with CBD and THX or THC. I don't know how it works. Anyway, it was good stuff. Mm-hmm. But we ended up basically wandering into surgery, which you would not do in an American hospital or even a British hospital, but we didn't realize it.
It was just behind some vines.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a vine section, and this is a weird thing too. I think that because Wookiees there's so much fur that it's just sort of assumed it's not going to be a sterile environment. So that Dr. Longara Jr. Dr. Longara Jr. Dr. Longara Jr. starts choking on an empanada.
Yeah.
And you give him the Heimlich.
Because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I knew it. That was one I thought about. I legitimately thought about just letting him die. And it was because I knew that if I saved him...
third life debt.
And then they pull this other bullshit.
I would have done it, except I was smoking that cigar.
That's true. And you weren't even allowed near
I was like, I don't know what the etiquette is here. Can I go through the surgery room with the cigar? Because I'm not putting it out.
They asked you not to.
Yeah. And I didn't go. So I'm still fine.
But they tried to pull this bullshit where they go, oh, well, you saved the doctor that was performing surgery.
Appendicitis.
On this patient.
Appendectomy. On Chewbacca.
On Chewbacca. So thus, you've saved them both, and you add 2 more life debt. It feels more like I'm the one doing the life debt.
Right.
Can I be honest?
I'm with you on this one. I think Longara makes sense. Dr. Longara makes sense. You gave him the Heimlich, he would have choked on that empanada.
That's true.
Right? He then, with remarkable turnaround speed, performs the appendectomy on Chewbacca and saves her life. Now, in my mind, she should have a life debt to him, and he should have a life debt to you, but they were all emphatic that, and I don't understand the rules here, but nope, they both owe you a life debt, so you got 4.
And then,
Well, then I was like, man, this has been a crazy day. You know where we should go? Hooters, which I want to throw this out here. I really do just like the wings, because Wookiee women aren't doing anything for me. So I just wanted to go hang out in a familiar environment. And so we go there. I'm like, you know what? Let me buy a pitcher for everybody. Now that Nick's got 4 Wookiees with a life debt. I mean, we've got a whole gang. There's 5 of us now. No, 6 of us now between. So you know what? Beer's on me. I'm going to get a couple pitchers of Coors. Let's all just settle in and just take a deep breath.
I'd like it to be noted that I wanted to go to TGI Fridays.
You did. You wanted to go to TGI Fridays, and I don't know, maybe next time we'll go there. But in any event, I had one of those cards that you punch, and it's like I get a free pitcher of beer.
And also all of the other Wookiees were for it.
They were all in favor. The Wookiees are great. Yeah. Wookiees are up for a good time. Yeah. And so we go there, and then lo and behold, a couple of lads have probably had one too many craft beers or whatever they're drinking, and they're fighting. And you, being a magnanimous gentleman, step in and mediate the fight.
And because they were in apparently a fight to the death.
Yeah, it was a duel. I should clarify this. It wasn't a bar fight. It was a literal duel with blasters.
Little did I know that if you stop a duel, you've technically saved 2 lives.
And it's another life debt. It's 2 life debts.
And I'll just say this. Sprankles, terrifying.
Wait, is it Sprankles or Sprinkles? Because I have been calling him Sprinkles.
It's That's why he always looks at you that way. It's Sprankles.
You know, hats off to him, because he gives me that look. I know what you're talking about. He's never been mean about it, right? He doesn't want to correct me because...
Looks like a nightmare.
Wookiee how am I put this? They're polite but temperamental. If you cross a line, they will rip your arms off.
Yeah.
But if you don't cross that line, they're basically Canadian. So he's been absolutely delightful. I like Sprankles. I'm going to make a note of that, Sprankles.
And then Edward.
EJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, Edward Jefferson.
Edward Jefferson.
Which I thought maybe he was part human. Apparently, nope, it's, what do you call that, a false cognate or something? Like, it's just completely random. That just happens to be a Wookiee name.
Yeah.
Edward Jefferson.
And so... EJ and Sprankles joined the team,
who are now great friends.
They're buddies now.
Yeah,
it's that I am actually kind of proud of.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Yeah,
but I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, Heaton.
Yeah. Oh man.
They didn't just leave when we left Kashyyyk. I told them, like, when we were leaving, I was like, "All right, guys, we're taking off." It was so nice. I love this whole life death thing. It was really cool for the couple days we were here. But I'm gonna shuffle off the Buffalo.
We looked awesome when we went on Gabe and the Judge the following day, because we show up with an entourage. Like, you looked like a rock star, like, and they just assumed. And then you're like, life debt, and then they all laughed.
Yeah, they knew.
And I was like, I laughed because I was like, this is funny.
Apparently, this isn't the first time that something like this has happened.
Really? Yeah.
But it's rare.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's like 6 in one trip. It's just uncanny. Yeah. I mean, like, you're falling into life debts left or right. But I really thought, this is what I thought was going to happen. Because again, I'm having a great time. These guys are fun to drink with, guys and gals, because there's Chewbacca. They're fun to drink with. They're fun to hang out with. And like we got a built-in friendship group, which, you know, when we travel, it's kind of hard to make like a group of friends, right? So I'm having a blast, but I'm like, at the end of this, clearly they're all going to stay on Kashyyyk. And like, probably what's going to happen is it's a life debt, but also we don't live on Kashyyyk. So, you know, just while we're there in town is what I thought was going to happen, but apparently not.
I have a 2-bedroom apartment. I'll say again.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Look on your face.
And there are six Wookiees.
Yeah.
And my wife.
And your wife.
And
Megan.
me.
Yep.
And we're all living in Brooklyn right now.
Uh-huh.
In Brooklyn.
Yep.
It's not a lot of bang for your buck in Brooklyn.
You had to buy 3 bunk beds. 3 bunk beds.
Well, I mean,
and then
thank God for
them.
IKEA.
Yeah. And also, like really, truly thank God, because a lot of IKEA's furniture is modular. And I like the smallest Wookiee that lives with you now is what, 7 feet? That's like the smallest?
He's like 6'8".
Yeah, that's Dr. Langara.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Sprankles is like a solid
Sprankles might be
maybe
9
feet tall.
I mean, that guy, holy moly. And the thing is, I replaced every door in my apartment.
Yeah, they keep
already
banging through those.
And it's just, I mean, it's
your fridge is a nightmare.
Smells terrible.
You should because I come over when I can, right? And you guys need a labeling system or something, because
we had to get a chest freezer.
Yeah, you really ought to get multiple fridges, because just keeping track of everybody's food in and of itself is already a thing. Yeah, and well, the thing too is like now, I don't want to make this sound bad, but you tried to ditch the Wookiees multiple times. I mean, like, this was not, you tried to, like, you know, because it's your thing. So,
and I would have gotten away with it too.
Yeah.
If only they weren't so fast.
Yeah, they were, well, because
nimble.
You know, at the end, we're going to the spaceport, and you intentionally gave them the wrong spaceport, because you gave them, JF Baca, and we were actually going out of LaGuardia Baca, but I was like, do you mean? And you're like, yeah, and you gave me the super, like, JF Baca,
that's what I'm talking about.
And I was like, okay, great, yeah, we're gonna 10 o'clock flight, guys, and we go to LaGuardia Baca, and lo and behold, all the Wookiees are already there.
Well, I thought JF Baca was smart, because I thought they would go there, because no one's going to go to Newark. So I thought that it would just work, you know, and they would maybe be fooled. And everybody was there.
They were all there. They were all there. And like, not only were they there, it could not have been less of a thing.
Yeah.
They could not have been less flapped from that having happened. And then we stopped at, I don't know, Spaceport 32 Alpha or something. I can't remember where we were. Anyway, we stopped at some spaceport to get beef jerky and stuff. And you let them out, and you were like, hey, anybody need a bathroom break? They all need to go to the bathroom. Interesting fact about Wookiees. Very large, not very large bladders.
That's true. And so they went behind the spaceport to find a bathroom. Because they don't really...
And then we took off.
And I went as fast as I could.
Just hyperdrived. Yeah.
And then they were just waiting in my apartment.
They were already back at your apartment. It was great. Like, we come in, and they'd already gotten an additional couch. So there's the one couch you've got facing the TV, and they stacked a second couch on top of that so that all 6 of them can sit on the couch at one time and watch TV. And we came in, and like, one of them, I don't remember which one it was. One of them looks over and like gives us a head nod. The other 5 don't even look.
Yeah.
They're just they're
Tarful.
really absorbed in Breaking Bad.
But Tarful's the first one. You know? So I do have kind of a soft spot for Tarful.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Well, and I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like Tarful might actually feel like he got kind of roped it. Like, he didn't sign up to be with 5 other Wookiees, right? He just thought it was you, and to a lesser extent me, when I'm hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, by the end, you kind of figured they knew what they were getting into, sort of.
Yeah, well, technically they have to, but also, like, it's kind of like, if you agreed to take, this is a terrible analogy. One time, when I was first moving here to New York, I was moving into a new apartment, and my roommates were like, we're going to get a cat, by the way. And I was like, all right, that's established. I'm not a cat person, but okay. And then they got 2 cats. I was like, well, I can't back out now, right? Like that, like the emotional commitment's been made. But it's more than I emotionally prepared myself for, which is, I think, what Tarful's going through.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I just want to say this. If you're listening, I'm pretty sure that they took my neighbor's couch.
Oh, really?
There's a couch-sized hole in the wall
Oh, yeah.
from that apartment to this apartment. So I think they just went over and took it. And you got to explain this sort of stuff because in Kashyyyk, they just kind of share stuff. It's just how that works.
It's a very like laissez-faire.
Exactly.
Hit you back next week kind of.
So anyway, we're going through some citizen tests lately and trying to get them kind of more associated. Because if I got to live with them, just... we've been going to Costco a lot.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of changes.
Can I real quick, like, because I come over and I just have a blast.
Yeah.
I come over and I'm like, this is great. Like, I bring over a 6-pack or usually a 12-pack. We're all hanging out and like back slapping. These guys are a hoot, right? But I get to leave. Like, how do you, what do you guys have one bathroom? What do you do? There's 8 of you living in one apartment with one bathroom.
Well, they all come to work with me as well. So we got to wake up super early.
Oh, that's right, because they got to protect you.
So all of them can go to the bathroom before we can leave, I can leave for work.
Yeah.
And so now I'm waking up at like 4 a.m. every day instead of 5.
Yeah.
Just so that I can get to work by 6. I'll be honest. The customers
Do you
love
take the
them.
subway or do you guys like, because between you, if you were to Uber, it wouldn't be that bad.
I'm the only one with money here.
Oh, no. Okay.
None of them have brought anything with them.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than their bandoliers.
Okay, because that explains it.
Is illegal here, so they can't even wear them.
Right. No, this makes sense because when I visited you at the coffee shop, I was like, so are you guys going to become mechanics? What are you going to do? And like they were like, we're going to assist Nick with whatever he's doing. And I was like, right, but they're not going to pay you guys anything extra. And they're like, it's not about the payment, it's about the life debt. And I was like, I get that. And it's awesome that there's 6 people, most of whom are more than 7 feet tall, working here. But you don't need that many people.
We're trying to see if they can possibly get some sort of job that they can do while I'm home.
I've been talking to Chewbacca, and she's going to hop on Fiverr.
Well, that's because she's very talented.
She is very talented. I think she can be an artist.
She's the most strong-willed, I think, to do her own stuff.
Yeah.
And I think she kind of resents this whole thing as well.
Well, and like I got to say, like, it's probably not easy being the only woman. I guess your wife, but like being in a 2-bedroom apartment in New York with 1 guy and 6 Wookiees or 5 other Wookiees, like that's probably tough on her. Like I would imagine she probably wants a little bit more personal space and like
we all do.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Everybody wants more personal space.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a new place as we speak.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we're going to have to figure out some income, some means, because we can barely afford my apartment as it is, much less the 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom.
Right. You might have to move to the suburbs.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, in any event, man, I mean, I would gladly take them, but they won't come. So, I'll just keep swinging by and
they love you.
Oh, no, because you know what? And they are so, I don't think people realize how funny Wookiees are at Quiplash.
Yeah.
They are very good at Quiplash. Cards Against Humanity, meh.
Well, it's hard because of the translation.
Yeah. But Quiplash, they're pretty good. Great. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up today. We'll do the ranking of Kashyyyk. How we liked it. So
this is what we're going to start doing, right? We're going to start
doing this. Yeah, we're going to start. We were doing me hitting up Tinder, which I'll still talk about periodically, and I still do check out Tinder every planet I go to. It's just that I felt like enough Wookiee-related hijinks happened on this trip that I didn't need to talk about the date I went on. And I still usually Yelp review. But for our purposes, Nick and I will now say our favorite thing about a planet, our least favorite thing about the planet, and like on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely we are to go back. So my favorite thing about Kashyyyk, love the trees. I love forests, and I thought Kashyyyk was just beautiful, and just the air is so fresh. That was my favorite thing. What was your favorite thing about Kashyyyk?
My favorite thing, I genuinely liked the empanadas.
They were good. Agreed.
That was it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, both great things. My least favorite thing, I hate to be a stickler about this, the sales tax, 13%, really?
Yeah, it's like that's Chicago sales tax.
Yeah, that's like and I mean I don't think they pay income tax, but I don't live there, so it doesn't make a difference to me. So that was kind of a high thing. So that was my least favorite thing, was a 13% sales tax. How about you?
Life debts.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Because
the 6 life debts.
Because of the 6 Wookiees living in your New York apartment now. Yeah. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I would put it at like a 9 for me. I'm going to say 8 because I really didn't enjoy the Fembot planet. I mean, that's currently the 9. I'm going to give it an 8.5 of me going back. I'd say Fembot planet and Kashyyyk are my 2 favorite places we've been to so far.
This is hard for me because if I go back, I'm hoping to drop off some Wookiees. So I guess 6.
So maybe. Okay, all right. So 8.5.
Vulcan's like up there for me. It's probably like an 8.9, I'd say.
Okay.
So this is probably middle of the pack. So maybe 5.9, 6.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right, Nick. I'll swing by later this week to hang out with you and the lads. That's the show. We survived a dark but fun journey into Imperial apologism. Good job, you guys.